So my sixth point is I'm really a nice guy. I'm really a great guy. You see moral outrage and righteous indignation. Most women my generation know the difference between a great man being angry and some psychopath just running his mouth because he doesn't get his way. I'm not mentally ill. I'm not a psychopath, not a sociopath, not schizophrenic, not schizoaffective, not bipolar, not depressed. Quite often, I've demonstrated a great degree of self-control and self-discipline in the martial art principles in my video. One cannot be the best martial artist ever without having the most respectable degree of self-discipline, courage, focus, when to act and when not to act. I'm nearly 40 years old. I've been provoked more than anybody that's ever lived when you consider the exact nature of the provocations and the science behind them and the technologies that are used. But I have no criminal record. Did I grab one of these gang stalkers by the neck and beat the dog shit out of them? No. Did I ram them with my car? No. I'm almost certainly going to die without being violent to anyone. The entire rest of the state is more likely to commit violence than I am before I die. And it'll probably be pretty soon because I'm poisoned. There's no reason to target me. There's no reason to fear me. If you come up to me and say, hey, I'm sorry, and you're an attractive woman, I concede your point, and I want to obey God, and I thank you for being willing to discuss these ideas with me instead of being a tyrant, I'm going to respect that. There's no way I wouldn't respect that. There's no way I would even hesitate to respect it. I said, thank you so much for having the courage to be a good woman and to face adversity with me. You are more than welcome. Let's figure this out. I'm not a bully. I don't believe in beating women up. I use examples like people deserve this because they're going to be thrown in a lake of fire for eternity. So to get it through their head that they deserve to burn in hell forever, I say, hey, these people deserve to get beat down, hit with irons, shot in the face, or whatever I might say. I don't do these things. I'm not a savage monster. I'm not an animal. I'm not a beast. I'm a righteous man. I use examples to get it through your head that this is fucking serious. That damning your children to hell and your offspring and continuing to reproduce is a seriously evil and ill thing to do. Okay? I consider myself the most developed and mature person that ever lived. Okay, even though I don't look like it. My head isn't the biggest head. I'm not the biggest guy, but there's a certain refinement to me, even in this reduced form, that you can kind of see that the essence of maturity is there. Therefore, there's a certain responsibility. Everyone else is in a baby line, Babylon culture. I'm like the only adult on the planet, except for my parents, and they're old and they're feeble in terms of being old people. Okay? Still young at heart to some degree, all that good stuff. You get what I'm saying. There's a certain responsibility. To him who much is given, much is expected. God expects me to man up and to tell you, Ezekiel, the watchman, warn them, or God's going to put on me too. Even if God wasn't going to punish me too, because it's the right thing to do, it's the decent thing to do, I tell him, I say, look, this is serious. They're trying to make me look weird and funny and childish and gay. Oh, he lives with the parents. Ha, 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 ha. We're going to take him to the psych ward. Ha, ha. This fucking stupid. Okay? If they turn the Lion King and the Lion King, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or the Lion from the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, who's the king, if they turn him into a pink fucking poodle, should he stop trying to be serious and explain? No. So as they change my videos and paint my lips red, I'm going to still tell you this is fucking serious and I don't think it's funny. In fact, I know it's not funny. I am the Messiah, even if I was a pink fucking turtle. Okay? Even if I talk like a, hey guys, if I talk like Pee Wee Herman or some shit, Beavis and Butthead, I'm still the Messiah setting the record straight. Even if I was in a coma, you're supposed to come to me with your head bowed down and fast until you starve to death for being too late on the off chance that God will have mercy on you. That's how serious this is. There is no job that should come between you and God. There is no responsibility to your family that should cause you to hesitate to respond to God's orders to rally. I take my position as God's son very seriously. That's one of the things that separates me from everyone else. Divine responsibility and the divine receptivity to this responsibility. Knowing that this is a planet that doesn't look kindly on black people, generally speaking, especially ones that insist that they're God's son. In Iona State Hospital, they said any N-word who's crazy enough to come to Ole Miss must be mentally ill, and they take him to this mental hospital just for being in the place he didn't want to be. And drapetomania was something they said when you leave the plantation, that you must be mentally ill to want to run away from the plantation. How much more if you stayed at the plantation and said, I'm God's son, and you must obey God through me because I'm the most moral person that ever lived, and all this evidence that I have, all this logical, this sound logic that I have as a brain surgeon, son, the son of two doctors, someone with a college degree, and I said, this is sound logic, no one has any viable counter-argument. That wouldn't matter to them. They say, drug him, make him seem mentally ill, take him away, or swing, have him hanging from a tree. Okay? I still man up and tell him. All you attractive women who pass by me, even on the road, you see someone in the spirit of manning up while everyone else is bitching up and acting like betas as betas. And you shun me. Think about it. You're shunning the most righteous, the most nice, the most kind, the most considerate, the most compassionate. These are the principles that's needed to do what I'm doing. And the rest of the world is so far behind me that I have to point it out myself. Even though there's a bunch of geek-ass bitches, I'm like, oh, he has an ego problem. He's not so humble. It's because all you bitch-ass motherfuckers don't give me my rightful place, and you don't tell them on my behalf. Am I supposed to let it go unsaid, you fucking pussy?